This is a Toyota Corolla Hatchback XSE, and today we're going to review it. Today we're working with our friends at Heinz Toyota in Mankato, Minnesota. Hey folks, I'm Rob.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are
Two Guys in a Ride.
Say, Nate, tell the folks what we're taking a look at today.
Today, folks, we are taking a look at the Toyota Corolla Hatchback XSE.
That's right, but say, before we do, if you want to keep up to date with all the new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and you want to know how to use all the infotainment systems that's built into the new cars, plus you like cool collector car stories,
take a moment, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell notification so you never miss a video.
That's right. So what do you say, Nate?
Let's go for a ride.
All right.
All right, so in terms of the ride, actually, it's quite smooth. It's quite comfortable. I'm surprised for the small wheelbases this is. I was expecting the ride to be rougher, but it is actually quite comfortable. Now, I do hear some road noise, both in town and we'll see here on the highway in a minute, but the ride itself is surprisingly comfortable, and as are the seats. In terms of parking, well, you know, it's got a rear view backup camera. It does have guidelines in the back. They're not dynamic, that means swiveling, but at least you have the lines there, which are nice. So it's such a small car that it would be quite easy to park and get in and out of places in and around town. Now, cruising and driving on the highway, of course, you've got one of the things that I think makes the driving much easier is dynamic radar cruise control. So, keep pace behind a car and keep your distance. The fit and finish is Toyota. It's tight, it looks nice. I'm not a fan of the big stand-up screen, but it's quite functional, and everything around it looks nice. One of the things I do like is that when cars have physical buttons for all the climate control, and this does, and that is a big plus for me. Now, in terms of getting in and getting out of the car, well, it's low to the ground, so this is not something you're going to want to get if you have bad knees or a bad back. That would be difficult because you do sit down, and when you get out, you got to really stand up because this is, it's lower to the ground. Okay, coming up next, Rob is going to take this for a drive, and we'll get his impressions from behind the wheel.
Okay, my turn. I'll tell you right away, it's very, very maneuverable. It's very agile, and of course you would expect that from a Corolla, from a smaller car, but it's very light steering too. Sound and quietness. I'm driving through the town right now. Decent road, so not hitting a lot of bumps and ridges, but it's really quiet in here, very quiet. Nice sound deadening. Hear a little bit of tire roar, but that's to be expected on a lesser model economy type car. Some of the safety systems, you have the rear view camera, you have the lane keeping, you have the blind spot, you have ABS, you have so many things, Toyota Safety Sense too. Lots of things that they add on cars nowadays. It's just, they're all absolutely loaded with safety features. Fit and finish, it's not bad. A lot of soft touch materials everywhere. But overall, I like this exposed stitching. I like the seats. The seats are very comfortable. I like the exposed stitching on the door panels and on the dash panel. And overall, I very much like the layout. The screen is nice and clear. Lots of good positives on this car. And I actually think it's a very, very good value for the price. So we're going to test the acceleration in just a couple of minutes here. Okay. Going to get on an on-ramp here and see about the acceleration. Here we go. Wow. Not bad at all. Not, I expected with CVT it would be a little sluggish, but that wasn't bad at all. So coming up next, my exterior review followed by Nathan's interior review. And don't forget, we're going to cut a separate how-to video on how to use all the infotainment systems and technology built into this car. So stay tuned. The Toyota Corolla Hatchback is available in 3 trim levels. There's the SE that starts at $20,290. There's the SE Nightshade Edition that starts at $22,290, and the XSE that starts at $23,240. This is the Corolla Hatchback, and it's in the XSE trim, and it's presented here in blue flame, and it has a black combination leather interior, and it's stickered at $25,758. Now, it's powered by a dynamic force 2-liter inline 4-cylinder 16-valve double overhead cam chain drive with dual variable valve timing with intelligence. It produces 168 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. It's driven by a dynamic shift continuously variable transmission, the CVT, and it has front-wheel drive. Now, out front you see it does have the programmable projector beam LED low and high beam headlights with auto high beam, and it does have daytime running lights. I like that black honeycomb grille, and the grille surround is black as well, and it has the large Toyota logo. Does have the body colored front bumper, and you see I really like the round fog lights down below. Makes it look really cool, and I like the looks of it all up front. And these are, of course, variable intermittent windshield wipers up top. So let's take a look around the side. Okay, tires and wheels. These are 18-inch bright machine finished aluminum wheels, and they have the dark gray metallic paint, and they are wrapped in P225 40R18 all-season tires. I love them, love that design. It does have full-wheel anti-lock brakes with power-assisted, ventilated 11.5 front disc brake rotors and solid 10.5 rear brake disc. And this is made of galvanized steel and aluminum composite panels. Up front it is a McPherson strut front suspension, and out back it is a trailing wishbone rear suspension. I like these body-colored rocker panel extensions, and of course these are body-colored power heated side mirrors with manual folding, and then they have the integrated turn signals. You also do have the body-colored door handles, and they do have the sensor for the lock and unlock, and this does have the matte black belt line and window trim, and it is lightly tinted glass. I really do like the lines of the side view of this, the side profile. I like the lines. You can see that hatchback look. I think it's a sharp looking car. So let's take a look around the back. Okay, out back this does have the body colored rear spoiler with a shark fin antenna up top, and it does have the LED high mount stoplight. This is a fixed rear window, and it has a fixed interval wiper, and it is a defroster built in as well. It does have a manual lift gate. There's a backup camera. I like the large Toyota logo, and these are LED brake lights. I like the black bumper protector mat on the top of the bumper, and you see it is a body colored rear bumper with black rub strip fascia, and it does have a little chrome insert accent as well. Down below you have the twin chrome tailpipe diffusers, and it's just sharp looking. It looks like a wide car in the back. Looks like it's actually bigger than it is. I love the bright tail lights. I like the design of the tail lights. Really a nice, cool looking car. So let's take a look inside and talk about the cargo area. Okay, as I said, this is a manual lift gate. So there we are. There is a compact spare tire and tools underneath the inside cargo floor, and this does have a nice rubber mat. Now, cargo volume behind the first row is 23 cubic feet. Max cargo volume behind the second row is 17.8 cubic feet. And then cargo floor length from the sill here to the front row is 60 inches. Cargo floor length to the second row to the sill, 29 inches. Width at the belt line, 38.5 inches. Cargo width between the wheel houses, 37.5 inches. Cargo opening height, 23.5 inches. And of course, cargo liftover is 29 inches. And we put a piece of our carry-on luggage here to give you an idea of how big it is inside. Now, some of the safety features on this Corolla: you've got electronic stability control, brake assist, ABS and driveline traction control. You have the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0. It has lane departure assist with lane tracing assist, has lane keeping assist, has tire specific low pressure warning, and of course, lots more. And there are some options you can add to your Corolla XSE. There's the XSE Preferred package, and there's adaptive front lighting system, and of course you can get it with a two-tone roof that's a separate color than the rest of the car. So let's talk about the dimensions. Okay, front track is 60.3 inches, rear track 60.8 inches, overall width 70.5 inches, overall length 172 inches, and its height is only 57.1 inches. It rides on a wheelbase of 103.9 inches. It has a ground clearance of 5.1 inches. It weighs 3,060 pounds. It has a turning circle of 37.4 feet and a 13.2 gallon fuel capacity. So, what about safety? Well, NHTSA has rated it overall 5 out of 5 stars. Front driver crash rating, 5 out of 5 stars. Front passenger crash rating, 5 out of 5 stars. Performance: 0 to 60, 8.2 seconds. Standing quarter mile, 16.3 seconds. Top speed, 112 miles per hour. Braking 60 to 0, 119 feet. Not bad at all. So appearance. Well, I really do like the sporty hatchback design, and I like the wide, aggressive stance that this car has. It has a presence to it. So, dependability. Basic warranty, 3 years, 36,000 miles. Drivetrain warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles. Roadside assistance, 2 years, unlimited miles. And Toyota has scheduled maintenance for 2 years or 25,000 miles. Now, economy, one of the biggest reasons people will buy this great little dependable car. 30 city, 38 highway, 32 combined. So that's my exterior review. If you've missed any of the information in my review, you can rewatch the video and you can check out my notes in the description area down below. Now let's take a look inside, but before we do, take a moment, give us a like, leave a comment, and please click on that subscribe button down below. So, what do you say, Nate? Take it away.
And stepping on the inside here, you've got a nice stitching going all the way along the door here, and then again on the armrest right here. Looks really nice. You do have some of that gloss black trim coming up here, along with some satin chrome trim coming down. So it's got a nice look to the door. Now, as far as buttons go, you've got auto up and down, all 4 windows, and then you have your window lockout, your unlock and lock buttons, and then your mirror controls right here, as well as a physical unlock and lock button right here. You do have one of your 6 speakers in the door, and then you have some bottle storage right here, and then you do have some small storage right in down here. Now, on the driver's side, the seat is an 8-way power with a 2-position lumbar. And then on the passenger side, it's a 4-way manual adjustment. The seats themselves have leather seating surfaces. I like the color contrast along with the stitching. They're quite comfortable. Down here, you have your fuel tank release button. And then down here, of course, you have a nice footrest along with your pedals. You have your hood release right here. And then coming up here, you do have your dashboard brightness and dimness control, along with turning your auto high beam system on or off. And then it is a manual tilt and telescope steering wheel, and that control button is right here. All right, let's step inside. All right, it is a push start here. I like that opening screen. All right, so on the driver's information screen on the left, of course, you've got an RPM gauge. In the middle, you've got your speedometer along with your driver's information screen. That is a 7-inch screen there. And then over here, you've got your fuel gauge and your engine temperature gauge. What's kind of cool is when you put it in sport mode, the middle changes color, and I like that. All right, coming back to the left side of the steering wheel, you have got your controls for the driver's information screen along with a back button. And then, of course, your phone button right here. And then you've got a volume up and down, and you've got a voice command button. Over on the right side of the steering wheel, you have your cruise control settings here. You've got on and off, set, resume, cancel. This is your gap setting because this does have dynamic radar cruise control. And then, of course, you have your lane keeping assist button right here. This button switches modes on the infotainment screen, so between like AM and FM and Sirius XM, that kind of stuff. And then you have a backwards and forwards for changing radio stations or channels on XM radio. You do have the auto high beam lights on this vehicle, and those controls are on the left stock. And in order to activate that, you have to first push the button, the high beam light control button on the down here on the left, and then you have to put the high beams on. Over here on the right, of course, it's all your windshield wiper controls, and then you do have paddle shifters right here. Moving over to the infotainment screen, you have an 8-inch screen. This has AM and FM radio, HD radio, Sirius XM satellite, Amazon Alexa, and Bluetooth. And then it has physical buttons for the most part all on the left, and some more physical buttons on the right, along with a power and volume, and then of course a tune and scroll button over here. If you want to watch a detailed video of everything that's in this infotainment screen and the driver's information screen, click the link above. Moving on down below, you have your climate controls, and I do like that they're all physical. So you got, this is dual zone auto, so you got your temperature setting here for the driver. You've got your temperature setting for the passenger. And then you do have a physical sync button right here, which I absolutely love when they put that in there and it's physical. And then you've got all of your climate control buttons. So you got the off button here. You got front defroster, rear and mirror defrosters. And then you can use this for auto heat and cool to save fuel a little bit. You got your fan speed, your modes, recirculatory, fresh air, and of course the AC button. Moving down below that, the two front seats are heated, and so the heat buttons are right here, and it's two position. It's a high and a low, but it's passenger and driver. And then beyond that, you do have a little storage area here, like a rubber grip piece there. So whatever you put in there is designed to kind of lean up against this end, so it doesn't fall over. But it would hold a large size smartphone. Moving back from there, you have some of the same nice trim with the stitching that comes back here around the shifter console. And then up here you've got a sport mode, you got traction control on or off, and then of course just your gear selectors. I do like it that it's got a physical shift lever. Not a big fan of the push button transmissions. If you put it into drive and then you knock it over to the left, you can also sequentially shift from down in here instead of using the paddle shifters if you prefer. Moving back from the shifter, you'll notice a lot of this gloss piano black trim that they have in here. And then you've got a electronic parking brake, and this does have the brake hold feature. So if you activate that, once you are in gear and you push the brake, you can take your foot off the brake and the car will remain at a braked position until you press the accelerator. Moving on back, you've got dual cup holders here along with a pass-through area. All right, and then moving back to the, you got a nice little center armrest right here, and if you lift that up, you do have a small storage area. It's not large. So you do have, though, a 12-volt outlet, and then your 2.1 amp connection to your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto right in there. Moving on to the glove compartment. It's a dampened opening, and it's actually a fairly deep glove compartment. That's nice. All right, moving on up, you do have a manual rear view mirror. And then above that, of course, you have your reading lamps left and right. You can use this switch to determine if those lights come on when the doors are open or not. And then you do have an both lights on and off button. And then, of course, you have down here your emergency button. All right, the visors do have a pull-out right here. Okay, and they do have a light up here that turns on when you open the mirror. Okay, they, of course, are not telescoping because you have that pull-out. Okay, and it's the same on both driver and passenger side. All right, that being said, let's take a step into the rear and see what that looks like. Okay, so on the back door here, you got the same piano gloss black trim. You got a cup holder right in the door here, which I do like. You got your auto up and down switch, and of course you do have your unlock and lock physical button here. And you do have one of your 6 speakers. All right, let's step in. Okay, so the driver's seat is left where I had it when I was driving. And I do have, you know, probably about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches of legroom there. And I have roughly about 1 inch of headspace. So surprisingly, a fair amount of room once you get in the car. Both seats have pockets in the back. You do have a little storage area right here, but no USB hookups right here in the back. You do, though, have a center armrest, which is nice because I like it when it's elevated. You got dual cup holders, and then it's a nice balance between this and where you're resting your arm in the back. So it's nice because, you know, you have an even balance between your right arm and your left arm. The one thing I do notice is that, you know, on the door handles in the rear, you know, it comes out like this, but then the back angles back in towards the door, so the support for your back elbow kind of fades away. But there's enough there to rest fairly comfortably. So the seats themselves are pretty comfortable. There is no recline or pull forward or backwards or anything on them. They're just locked into place. And it's a 60-40 split, and there's just a simple handle you grab to pull the seat forward, which is very easy. So overall, you know, once you're inside of it, in the second row, it's pretty comfortable, and you do actually have, you know, a decent amount of knee room and headroom. All right, thanks for watching. All right, so one of my favorite things on most cars is the backup camera. This one does have guidelines. They're not dynamic, so they don't swivel. But it's such a nice feature to have those backup cameras, and if you've never had one before, you're gonna absolutely love having one. That's my favorite thing.
Okay, and my favorite thing, I like the tires and wheel combination, like the design, like the color. Really sharp, looks great on this car. My favorite thing.